Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. We are now just 1 week away from the Royal Rumble, live on the WWE Network. I'm not going to say it because apparently some people are annoyed out there that I sarcastically bring up that the WWE Network is just $9.99. Oh crap, shouldn't have said that. Anyways, got your questions here from spring.me/AaronRift, and I will show NoDQ.com real quick. Live coverage of the Royal Rumble, news, rumors, results, everything you need, NoDQ.com. Now that that's out of the way, let's get down to your questions. First one today comes from Slow Speed Net. Hello Aaron, just watched almost 20 of your videos. Thank you for that. From 2014, and in almost every video, you were saying that Reigns should be the guy to finally beat Lesnar. Now, after all those Looney Tunes and Disney promos by Reigns, do you still want him to beat Brock? In a perfect world, WWE would create a brand new superstar on top. That's what WWE really needs, is fresh blood. And if all the stars had aligned, if I was in charge of WWE, if I was the armchair booker, so to speak, and I was here giving my opinion on what WWE should do, Brock Lesnar should have defended the WWE title successfully on several pay-per-views. He should have been Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, all the top babyfaces in WWE, so he is a dominant heel, and you really utilize Brock Lesnar to full force, considering the fact that he ended Undertaker's streak and he beat John Cena in dominant fashion at SummerSlam. I wouldn't have had Brock Lesnar be on the verge of losing to Cena at Night of Champions. I would have had Brock Lesnar go on a rampage, be a monster heel, and use Lesnar to put over somebody new and establish a new top star. Now, was Roman Reigns the right guy? He is the one that WWE has been grooming to be the next top star. So in a perfect world, Brock Lesnar puts over the guy, and if Roman Reigns is the guy in a perfect world, Reigns would be booked properly. WWE would focus on his strong points, which is him going out there and just being a badass. WWE trying to turn Roman Reigns into Cena with the comedy and him doing the Looney Tunes references. I think it's going to do more harm than good with Roman Reigns, and there's going to be an increased chance of there being a backlash. And I got this question here from Iron Mike Sharp. Don't think it's the real Iron Mike Sharp. Hi Aaron, I think Roman Reigns' gimmick has become downright embarrassing. Stealing lines from Superman and cocking his fist like a gun is just plain silly. If he is going to be the man in WWE, do you see them ever giving him a respectable gimmick? The thing is, Vince McMahon feels that the top WWE star needs to be an all-around entertainer. He has to have a comedic side to him. He has to have a likable personality. He has to be multi-dimensions. He can't just be a guy who goes out there and doesn't do promos and doesn't have more than just getting in the ring and wrestling. He has to be the all-around entertainer. That's how WWE sees it, that's the kind of character that Roman Reigns needs to be. And that's unfortunate because there have been guys in the past that have been successful without having to have their characters changed, and, they go out there and they keep the gimmick simple. Goldberg is the perfect example. He just went out there and he dominated people in 2-3 minute matches. He rarely talked, and he made WCW a ton of money. But with WWE, they want him to go out there and be family friendly and do the comedy and all that stuff. And to me, it just doesn't work for Roman Reigns' character. What got him over in the first place was him just simply being a badass. And when he was with the Shield, he didn't talk much. He just came out there. He was the muscle for the group, and he would beat the hell out of people, and that's what got him over. Him doing promos is not what got him over, and especially promos that feel very forced, like it's Vince McMahon scripting him and telling him to go out there and say these things. It just doesn't sound like something that Roman Reigns would say on his own. And I think that that is one of the biggest problems with him right now. And WWE is seriously risking a major backlash from fans if they keep going in this direction. But like I said earlier, in a perfect world, WWE would have booked Roman Reigns like a badass and built him up and had him beat Brock Lesnar, who had gone on a rampage prior to WrestleMania. And then Roman Reigns is the one who finally beats the guy that beat Undertaker, that beat Cena, that beat all the top guys, and he is firmly established as the top guy. That's how I would have done it. WWE not exactly doing it that way. They're doing what they feel is best for business. And as I've said before, they are the ones that are in charge. They're the ones that are running a very successful company for all these years. I'm just a guy sitting here doing a YouTube video, so what do I know? Moving on here, I got this question from Seahawk Brohawk. Hey Aaron, how's it going? I was wondering if you could tell me why WWE never pulled the trigger on William Regal or Shelton Benjamin as top stars. Both had the charisma and talent in my opinion. Please answer in video, thanks. Well, I definitely agree with you on the talent part. The charisma, I mean, I think I have to agree with how WWE felt about them. You know, they weren't exactly the most charismatic guys in WWE, especially William Regal. I really hate to say this, and I know some people are going to be down on me for it, but to me, my all-time favorite William Regal moment was not anything he did in the ring. Great wrestler, great technician, but I felt that he was most entertaining in a comedic role. The thing that I remember the most about William Regal, the number one thing is when Chris Jericho peed in his cup of tea and he drank it, and his facial reaction when he was drinking the tea. To me, that is William Regal's greatest moment. So I know a lot of people out there are going to say, what about his matches? To be honest, I don't remember 75% of his matches. I just remember they were good. But to me, there was nothing else besides just being good in the ring that William Regal could offer to the table, besides doing the comedy, of course. Shelton Benjamin, I feel that WWE really dropped the ball with him. He could have been a bigger star. Once again, with Roman Reigns, he got over without talking, and Shelton Benjamin was getting over with fans as a babyface. But then Triple H had to beat him, and Shelton Benjamin was brought back down to the mid-card after he had a couple months of some real momentum. And a friend of mine who used to watch wrestling all the time, when Triple H beats Shelton Benjamin on Raw, he's like, this is exactly why I stopped watching WWE. So, I mean, a lot of people just saw it as Shelton Benjamin getting his legs cut off when he really had some momentum. And I totally agree with people that say Shelton Benjamin should have been a bigger star in WWE. I will say that. All right, this one comes from rdizzle55208. With Daniel Bryan back and they want to push Reigns so bad, could you see the Final Four at the Rumble being Wyatt, Bryan, Reigns, and Ambrose, but Ambrose eliminates either Reigns or Bryan, which could pick up heat for the heel turn? That is definitely a possibility. I mean, WWE, if Daniel Bryan's going to be in the Rumble, and at this point it's not 100% because on Raw they're advertising a match with Bryan and Kane, and if Bryan loses, he's out of the Rumble. So it's still uncertain what's going to happen with Daniel Bryan in the Royal Rumble, but if Bryan's not winning the Rumble, which I think is crazy, I think Daniel Bryan at this point should absolutely win the Rumble. And I feel that by having somebody eliminate Daniel Bryan, that person's going to get a lot of heat. If it's Dean Ambrose, I mean, that would be a good way to set up Dean Ambrose for a heel turn. And if WWE is hell-bent on going with Roman Reigns and they want to stick to their plan, trying to think of what Daniel Bryan would do at WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose, WrestleMania, I mean, that would be a hell of a match. That would be a potential show stealer. And as I've talked about in previous videos, Dean Ambrose has lost a lot of his momentum. And, I feel a heel turn is what he needs at this point. So, that very well could be how it plays out at the Rumble, where Dean Ambrose eliminates Daniel Bryan and all the heat goes on to Ambrose, and that sets up Bryan versus Ambrose at WrestleMania. Very much a possibility, I think. All right, this one comes from Dari Uselliot 12. Will we ever see China in the Hall of Fame? China? Um, China in the Hall of Fame. Does she deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Considering the fact that she threw me over a couch once, I'll go ahead and say yes. But seriously, based off of her WWE career, I would say yes. I would say that she was a big part of DX, and she was the first female IC champion. She was the first female in the Royal Rumble. She broke a lot of ground. Why not put her in the Hall of Fame? But will it actually happen? I guess you could say, never say never. That's the phrase that's always used. But with her, I just don't know. With her past in WWE being a PG company, if it does happen, I don't think it's going to happen for a very long time. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. And with Triple H and Stephanie in power, I think the odds are really against it. But Bruno went in. Randy Savage is going in now. Ultimate Warrior went in. Cannot rule it out 100%. But I would say the odds are very much against it happening, especially anytime soon. Last question here from Jared Smith, 1994. What's up, Aaron? I was watching old episodes of Raw from 1994 on the network, and I find it odd that the big matches they advertised were at the beginning of the show and the main events were squash matches. Why did they do this? I think the mentality back in the day was you had a large audience of kids, and WWE was a family-friendly company, and the shows were built around entertaining kids. It was very cartoonish and over the top. And I think the mentality was, kids have to go to bed at a certain point. And when you have a show on at night, kids sometimes go to bed early. So they want to put the big match on first, the most important match on first, before the kids go to bed. And obviously things changed with the Monday Night Wars and, wrestling going in a edgier direction. So they changed the way that they booked the shows and laid them out. And, they changed it so they would try to build up to the main event and try to boost the ratings. So, things just changed with how the industry changed. But, yeah, back in the day with Raw and Saturday Night's main event, they would often put on the main event first. And I think that was why, because they wanted to make sure that the kids could see the big angle before, the parents said no more TV for the rest of the night. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest in the world of wrestling. And subscribe if you haven't already, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. I'll see you guys next time.